Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, please subscribe and turn on your notification to always stay updated. Today, we're looking at one of the most significant royal developments in recent years, a private family meeting that many thought might never happen. After years of public disagreements, legal battles, emotional interviews and strained relationships, King Charles III has welcomed Prince Harry, Meghan, Prince Archie, and Princess Lilibet to Highgrove House. No official photographs were released, no grand ceremony was arranged. Yet this quiet gathering may prove to be one of the most meaningful moments in the modern history of the royal family. Was this simply a family visit, or could it be the beginning of a long journey toward reconciliation? Let's explore what happened, why it matters, and what it could mean for the future of the House of Windsor. For years, relations between King Charles and Prince Harry have appeared painfully distant. Since Harry and Meghan stepped away from royal duties in 2020, the relationship has weathered one challenge after another. Television interviews, documentaries, Prince Harry's memoir Spare, ongoing legal disputes, and relentless media attention all seem to widen the divide. That is why Friday's private gathering at Highgrove House immediately captured worldwide attention. According to reports, King Charles personally hosted Prince Harry, Meghan, Prince Archie, Princess Lilibet, and Queen Camilla for what became the family's first private meeting together in several years. There were no palace balconies, no ceremonial welcomes, and no carefully staged photo opportunities. Instead, this was simply family gathering behind closed doors. Sometimes the most important royal moments are the ones the public never sees. In a family whose every appearance is normally documented, choosing privacy sends its own powerful message. Rather than making headlines through spectacle, this meeting appears to have been focused on rebuilding personal relationships away from cameras and public expectations. While nobody knows exactly what was said inside Highgrove, the fact that everyone accepted the invitation already represents meaningful progress after years of separation. Perhaps the most heartwarming aspect of this reunion was not simply the meeting between King Charles and Prince Harry, but the opportunity for the king to spend meaningful time with his youngest grandchildren, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. While public attention naturally focuses on the relationship between father and son, moments between grandparents and grandchildren often carry a quiet significance that can help strengthen family bonds in ways that words alone cannot. Archie, now 7, and Lilibet, now 5, are at ages where they are beginning to form lasting memories of the people around them. Their previous meeting with King Charles took place during Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations in 2022, when both children were much younger. This visit offered a very different opportunity, one where conversations, shared experiences, and simple family interactions could take place in a relaxed setting away from the demands of public life. For King Charles, whose schedule continues to balance constitutional responsibilities alongside treatment for cancer, spending private time with his grandchildren carries particular importance. Throughout his life, he has often spoken about the value of family and the importance of future generations. As both a monarch and a grandfather, occasions like this provide something that official engagements cannot: the chance to enjoy ordinary family moments that remain personal rather than ceremonial. Prince Harry has repeatedly spoken about wanting his children to know their British family and heritage. Regardless of the public disagreements that have unfolded over recent years, Archie and Lilibet remain part of both sides of their family. Visits such as this allow them to develop their own relationships with relatives rather than understanding them only through media coverage or public discussion. That distinction is important because children benefit most when they are given the opportunity to form their own memories and impressions. Although no photographs were released and no details of the family's conversations have been shared, that privacy may have made the gathering even more meaningful. Without cameras documenting every interaction, the family could simply enjoy spending time together. Whether they shared lunch, walked through the gardens at Highgrove, or simply talked around a table, those ordinary moments often become the foundation upon which stronger family relationships are rebuilt. For many observers, the visit represents more than a reunion between senior royals. It reminds us that behind the titles, official duties, and worldwide attention are grandparents who hope to know their grandchildren, and children who deserve the chance to build those family connections. While one meeting cannot erase years of separation, it can create the opportunity for new memories and future visits that gradually strengthen those bonds. One of the most notable features of this gathering was not what the public saw, but what they did not see. In an era where nearly every royal engagement is photographed, filmed, and discussed in minute detail, the decision to keep this reunion entirely private stood out immediately. There were no official portraits, no carefully staged family photographs, and no media opportunities marking the occasion. At first glance, some may have been disappointed by the absence of images. After all, many people would have welcomed the chance to see King Charles with Archie and Lilibet after several years apart. Yet the decision to keep the meeting private may ultimately have been one of the wisest choices made by everyone involved. Private conversations often allow people to speak more openly than they can when they know every smile, gesture, or facial expression will be analyzed across television, newspapers, and social media. In recent years, almost every interaction involving Prince Harry and the royal family has attracted intense commentary. Had photographs been released, attention could easily have shifted away from the importance of the reunion itself and toward endless speculation about body language, seating arrangements, or perceived emotions. Instead, the family allowed the meeting to remain exactly what it was intended to be, a personal occasion rather than a public performance. The privacy also offered valuable protection for Archie and Lilibet. As young children, they have largely been raised away from the constant public attention experienced by previous generations of royal children. Allowing them to spend time with their grandfather without becoming the focus of international headlines reflects an effort to place their well-being ahead of public curiosity. For King Charles and Queen Camilla, hosting the family privately also demonstrated respect for the personal nature of the occasion. Rather than turning reconciliation into a public relations event, they appeared willing to let progress unfold naturally and quietly. In many families, rebuilding trust requires patience, honesty, and conversations that happen behind closed doors. The same principle applies even when the family happens to live under worldwide scrutiny. Sometimes the strongest message is delivered not through carefully prepared statements, but through simple actions. By opening the doors of Highgrove House and keeping the occasion private, everyone involved signaled that this meeting was about family first. That approach may prove far more valuable in the long term than any official photograph could ever have been. To fully appreciate the significance of this reunion, it is important to remember the long and often difficult journey that preceded it. The relationship between Prince Harry and the royal family has evolved through a series of highly public events that captured global attention and at times created deep divisions within the family. When Harry and Meghan stepped back from their roles as working members of the royal family in 2020 and established a new life in California, it marked the beginning of a very different chapter. Their decision brought new freedoms, but also introduced new challenges. Public interviews, documentaries, legal disputes, and Prince Harry's memoir all contributed to an environment where disagreements became widely discussed rather than remaining private family matters. The publication of was particularly significant because it provided Harry's personal perspective on many of the difficulties he believed he had experienced within the institution and his family relationships. Some of its claims attracted considerable attention and inevitably caused hurt among members of the royal family. At the same time, Harry has consistently maintained that his hope has never been permanent conflict, but eventual reconciliation. Alongside these personal issues were practical disagreements, including questions surrounding security arrangements during visits to the United Kingdom and Harry's ongoing legal actions against sections of the British press. These matters often became intertwined with public discussion about his relationship with the monarchy, making each new development appear to deepen existing tensions. Despite these challenges, there have also been moments that reminded people of the enduring family connection. Shared appearances during the mourning period following Queen Elizabeth II's death demonstrated that, even during difficult times, family responsibilities could bring people together. While those occasions were solemn rather than celebratory, they showed that communication between family members had never disappeared entirely. This latest meeting at Highgrove represents a different kind of milestone. Rather than gathering because duty required it, the family came together for a private visit focused on spending time together. That distinction matters. Reconciliation rarely begins with dramatic announcements or sweeping declarations. More often, it begins with the willingness to accept an invitation, share a meal, and continue conversations that may have been interrupted by years of distance. No one should assume that every disagreement has now been resolved. Relationships that have experienced years of strain naturally require time, patience, and consistent effort from everyone involved. Trust is built gradually, not instantly. Nevertheless, this meeting suggests that both sides recognize the value of maintaining family ties despite past disagreements. It is a reminder that while history cannot be rewritten, the future is still open to new possibilities. Every family experiences disagreements in different ways, and many eventually discover that moving forward begins with a single step. This reunion may well represent that first step toward a more constructive future. Although Buckingham Palace has made it clear that the gathering was a private family occasion, its wider significance is difficult to ignore. The British monarchy has always balanced two roles simultaneously. It is both a national institution with constitutional responsibilities and a family whose personal relationships naturally attract public interest. Moments like this remind us how closely those two realities can become connected. If this meeting marks the beginning of more regular communication between King Charles and Prince Harry, it could gradually change the tone of public discussion surrounding the royal family. For several years, headlines have frequently focused on disagreement, legal disputes, and family divisions. A renewed emphasis on respectful dialogue would represent a noticeable shift, even if it develops quietly over time. It is also important to remember that reconciliation does not necessarily require complete agreement on every issue. Families often maintain close relationships despite differences in opinion, lifestyle, or personal choices. What matters most is a willingness to continue communicating and to approach one another with mutual respect. If that process has begun, it provides a stronger foundation than many observers believed possible only a short time ago. For Archie and Lilibet, future visits could become especially meaningful. Growing up primarily in the United States while remaining connected to the British royal family presents a unique family experience. Opportunities to spend time with their grandfather, learn more about their family's history, and build relationships with relatives in Britain may help them develop a broader understanding of both sides of their heritage. The meeting may also reassure those who hope to see greater unity within the wider royal family. While no single gathering can resolve every issue, positive family interactions often create momentum for future conversations. As trust gradually develops, additional opportunities for private meetings may become easier to arrange, allowing relationships to strengthen naturally rather than under the pressure of public expectation. Ultimately, the importance of this reunion lies not in dramatic symbolism, but in its quiet simplicity. It demonstrated that after years of distance, communication remains possible. It showed that family members who have experienced significant disagreements can still choose to spend time together. Whether this becomes the beginning of a lasting new chapter will only become clear with time, but it offers a reminder that meaningful progress often starts with one conversation, one visit, and one decision to keep the door open for the future. History may ultimately remember this visit not because of dramatic announcements, but because nothing dramatic happened at all. There were no speeches declaring reconciliation complete. There were no carefully choreographed public appearances. There were simply family members spending time together. In many ways, that may be exactly what was needed. Real reconciliation rarely arrives through a single headline. It develops through patience, repeated efforts, honest conversations, forgiveness, and a willingness to move forward one step at a time. King Charles welcomed his son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren into his home. Prince Harry accepted the invitation. Meghan accompanied him. Archie and Lilibet spent time with their grandfather. Those facts alone tell an encouraging story. The future remains unwritten, and challenges may still lie ahead. But for the first time in years, the focus is no longer entirely on division. Instead, attention has turned toward dialogue, family, and the possibility that even long-standing rifts can begin to heal. Sometimes hope doesn't arrive with fanfare. Sometimes it simply arrives with an open door. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. Do you think this private reunion marks the true beginning of reconciliation within the royal family? or is it simply one positive moment in a much longer journey? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal updates, thoughtful discussions, and behind-the-headlines analysis. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.